Well, I wrote a book called E.T. to AI, that's extraterrestrial to artificial intelligence. And it really it's really an interesting story. It's about gypsy shamanism, it's about astronomy, it's about going to Italy, and it's about all the things that happened that led to the discoveries in it. However, when we write a book, especially a novel, it may be fiction, but it's based on reality, it's based on truth. And when we undertake to write such a thing, sometimes the things going on in our life are just as interesting. The things that the book causes to happen in our life. And recently, I tried to I just tried to write out some of the things that stick out in my mind that happened to me just recently. A lot of interesting things have been happening to me the past 5 years. Um, I wrote strange things while doing my research. It all started when I found 9/5 in the universe and mathematical constants. 9/5 is the ratio of the radius of the Sun to the lunar orbital radius and is the ratio of the molar mass of gold to the molar mass of silver. The Sun is gold in color and the Moon is silver in color. Further, 9/5 is in the sum of pi with the golden ratio and in the sum of pi with Euler's number. Using 9/5, I was able to calculate a place in space which turned out to be near the SETI WOW signal, the one signal the search for extraterrestrial intelligence received that had all the qualities of an actual ET signal. The signal lasted 72 seconds, and 4 times 9/5 is 7.2. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun and the best candidate for colonization. Further, the digits 7 and 2 are in Venus orbit, which is 0.72 astronomical units from the Sun. Venus is considered a failed Earth, and in the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, HAL, the ship computer aboard the Discovery mission, reports the AE-35 antenna will fail in 72 hours, breaking communication with Earth. This is the turnaround point in the film. Further, the Earth precesses through 1 degree in 72 years. All of these discoveries were brought about when a gypsy shaman in Spain made me into the AE-35 antenna to remain in communication with him when I returned to America. It was done when he had me help him install an antenna for satellite reception at his nephew's house. Not unlike a lot like this antenna right here. Came to pass, I was asked to speak to the Pomona Valley amateur astronomers about my work at the State Observatory in Astronomy when I was a student in Oregon. And they asked me to talk a little bit about SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, and its connection to my work. A couple hours before my lecture, which was at the colleges, I went online and I learned that the founder of SETI died. I decided then that perhaps I should only talk about my work at the observatory and not the SETI, my work connected to SETI. As it turns out, the SETI WOW signal was in 1977, and I recently learned that the father of modern space science, Wernher von Braun, died in that same year. He built rockets for the Germans in World War II, then came to America after the war and worked for NASA on his idea of making a rocket not for war missiles but for going to the moon. When NASA asked if he was a Nazi, he said he had to work for them because they threatened to kill his family. While doing my research, I found what might be a growth rate constant towards hyperdrive, an engine that could take us to the stars, that I call Levinson's number, because I found it connected to Fordham University's Paul Levinson's work, in particular his novels The Plot to Save Socrates and Unburning Alexandria. Value has the digit 621, and I find it connected to the universe in many profound ways, as well as to Manuel's number, which comes to me from the Gypsy Shaman. I looked up on the internet what happened in 621 AD, and it said it was the year of the night journey of Muhammad when it is said he visited heaven on a winged horse. So the books are very interesting. All that was happening to me while I was writing them, and You can read them free online at ISSUU, and it's scribed. I'll put the links in this video. E.T. to AI is a very interesting story. It's about everything that happened to me with the gypsy shamans later in Italy when I went there, and so Spain, Italy, and when I came back here. More recently, I've written Frequency 440, which are recent developments that continue from that earlier work. And let me just read the opening paragraph. When we consider the 9/5 of fivefold symmetry, the biological, and 5/3 and 11/6 of sixfold symmetry, the physical, we can make three equations and therefore find a place in space. If we let the parameter t be 0, we have a place in space that is near the SETI WOW signal, extraterrestrial message, in the constellation Sagittarius. If we let the parameter t be eliminated, we have a place in space that points to the constellation Aquila. The former relationship came to me via a gypsy shaman called Manuel in Granada, Spain. The latter relationship came to me via a Fordham University professor and science fiction author called Paul Levinson in New York. The former and latter relationships stemmed from separate and independent research about two totally different topics, the former dealing with what I call the yin and yang of the universe, and the latter fiction-reality entanglement, or what could be called the unfolding of the McKenna time wave. Now we find the two concepts are part of one theory and are bound to one another by the standard reference for concert pitch A440, that tone which the oboe sounds before the symphony plays so that all the instruments can be tuned to it. Threaded through it is the discovery that AI, artificial intelligence, is connected to something even deeper than what its makers know themselves. So all that's going on, and I also wrote some math notes as a companion guide to these books, and there's even more new developments in that, and so I'll put the link to all this on the video.